Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in for the BARFOOT and Thompson. It is the Rochelle Hobbs Henderson Open. Thanks to all the sponsors and all the players as well, and organisers have helped this early season tournament get underway. And you can see there, Sean Wigan, we have Evan Williams, the left-hander, undefeated since, I think we figured it out, it was October 2020 or thereabouts.
Squash XL Pro is an elite team that work hard to train, play and run squash events on our journey to climb the world rankings. Like, subscribe, comment, pick up some of our merch on Teespring.
And he is up against the Waikato's ZAC Millar in the white shirt. And Sean, anything that you're going to expect or that we should be watching out for in this particular game?
Well, one thing I'll say straight away about Zach, he'll try and be very orthodox about what he does. He'll look to take advantage of the really fast ball, try and get Evan out of his rhythm, because he'll know if Evan gets his rhythm early, he'll be in trouble straight away. So he'll be trying to mix up what he does. And try to be very orthodox when it's there, where for Evan he'll be just trying to keep it basic for now, especially earlier on, and then once he gets a little bit of confidence he'll probably start going for a few more shots. So you can see there Zach just being very hard to read there with his flicks.
Yeah, he does those flicks very well, doesn't he? Probably very difficult to coach.
Well, you can't coach that. That's just what there are some things you can't coach, and that's definitely one of them. Like if you've seen Gary Duberly play a match, I don't think anyone could coach him now.
No, he's a little bit older now. And just the question.
There's the first of many questions coming up in this game.
Yep.
Although I'm surprised it was Zach who made the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, both these two had tricky semi-finals. Evan taking out Anthony Lepper in four sets. Really good match there from Anthony there, and then ZAC MILLAR also needing 4 sets to get past Glenn Templeton, so you could say that's a win for the more veteran players.
Yeah. And you can just see ZAC MILLAR almost ambling to the ball there, not having to rush himself to get to the shots at the present time. I mean, there's plenty of power put in the shots from Evan Williams. But MILLAR just taking his time to the ball. Haven't seen too many big swings from either player. It's more of a dab at the ball, isn't it?
Well, that's again the use of the really fast ball. You don't want to swing through the ball too much, otherwise the ball will start flying a bit too much. You can see they're just sort of giving it a little bit of air, give themselves that time. So that when you do go for that very quick shot like Zach just did there, that's where you want to step the tempo up a little bit.
Oh, there's a rare mistake.
Yeah, they haven't started up very well just handling Zach's shots at the moment. He's not doing anything too much here, just getting his rhythm really well. And you can see here just focusing more, just getting the ball to the back of the court and then opening the front up.
Really exploring all four corners here. I'm not sure about that one. And the ball really did hit every corner possible, just about. And I mean, that's the great thing, is move the ball around, move your opponent around.
Yeah, well, that's one of the big first. That's the first thing you're taught as a player, is to try and use all four corners. And you can see when you're only using, say, two corners of the court, then the court feels a lot bigger, because and it feels a lot shorter for your opponent. So it's very important to try and mix up the plays. So Evan's got a good buffer at the moment, 6-3 here. Good solid start from him.
Well, it's what we'd really expect. Just a couple of errors here and there, and I played that one straight back at his body. What do you think?
Well, maybe next time Evan should just give him a good swing, just to show why you shouldn't hit it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you're going to dispute that, well, be prepared for a racket hitting some part of your body.
That's well played. Oh! Oh!
I'm not sure what he was asking for there. You need that in your hand.
I'll admit that it's not a bad shout though. It was worth a go. He did really well to get the ball back. I think he just played on. I think I've just played on.
So if your opponent loses the racket on the ground, you should get the point, or can you just pick it up any time? Surely it's distracting, right?
Yeah, it's technically the rule is if there is any hindrance involved, unless it is accidental, then it is meant to go to your
surely
opponent.
You're going to be distracted if in a case like that, Zach's going to be hit and then he hears a racket sort of going on the ground. You're going to lose your concentration.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if Zach can get his game going after that incident there.
And quite a lengthy explanation here.
Yeah, I
want
think
to take her through it?
Yeah, so the ref gave a lead on that one, but explaining that to tell Zach not to block too much, and Evan is arguing that then it should be a stroke because it's on purpose. So that was what his argument was. The ref had none of that, just played the lead and wanted to play on. You can see it's just starting.
Second error there that we've seen of Evan Williams hitting the ball into the tin.
Yeah, he's just just lost a little bit of his focus these last few incidences. So he's had two arguments there, and then he's sort of come up straight away with a rare mistake from him, where at the beginning he was very focused, hitting the ball really well. That's what the key is when you play Zach. You just got to keep yourself contained in those sort of situations, because you can now see the momentum's completely changed now. It was 7-3 I think at one point, now it's 7-all.
But this is the thing when you play Zach, he's the sort of player who will just, the way he plays as well and using his physical presence on the court, he can easily come back at you if you give him a chance. You really have to put him away. Good change of direction and nice recovery there from ZAC MILLAR.
Oh, not a great shot there.
He worked so hard to get back into it.
But you can see Zach starting to get his game going now. He's starting to mix it up a little bit more. He's starting to hit much more accurate shots.
Well, there was a few more powerful plays at the ball as well. He felt confident.
Oh, that is a beautiful shot.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what you can't do with Zach. You can't give him those opportunities because he will go for it.
Well, it's right from the middle of the back of the court and hit so low over the tin. So he's actually got the lead for the first time pretty much.
And yeah, you can see he's got his rhythm going now. Starting to play his natural game, and now after being 7-3 down, he has 2 game balls here to take the first.
And what do you think? There was a ball that was out there?
Well, if you notice if you see those lines, you can sort of tell when it does go out, it sort of bounces up. So I think that ball might have been in.
Right.
I think it might have just curved under the line, otherwise it does have a funny bounce that comes from it. So
Yeah, it's slightly raised the line, isn't it?
yeah.
And we're back, folks, for the Men's Open, the second game. And it is ZAC MILLAR taking the first over Evan Williams. It is the Rochelle Hobbs Henderson Open. Thank you very much to Barfoot and Thompson Henderson for their sponsorship, and of course all the people, well, behind the scenes. And Neil's put in a lot of time there, hasn't he? Sean Wigan behind the scenes, and Shelley Kitchen as well.
Yeah, well, there was a stage last week where there wasn't even a chance it may not even happen with the number of cases that are suddenly increasing.
Yeah.
But credit to the club for putting this tournament ahead.
I think what we're seeing is that people want to play at the moment.
Well-
People do want to get on the squash court.
Well, I heard, after they gave out an email last week saying you can pull out if you want, if you're worried. Only one person pulled out, everyone else wanted to play, so it just shows how many people are keen to just get out on their court and play some squash.
Well, I compared it, I spoke to Neil about how the New Zealand rowing champs were moved to Ruataniwha and Twizel, and we're talking about Olympians and people of high standards there. They were just so happy to get out on the water and actually row. And I think that's what's happening around New Zealand. Anybody who's able to play sport at the moment, they just want to do it.
Especially here in Auckland, like the last squash tournament here in Auckland, before this one would have to be potentially Howick back in July. So it's been that long since Auckland's hosted a tournament. So especially Aucklanders here, we've just wanted to get back playing. So yeah, a lot of praise has to go to Henderson Squash Club for putting on this tournament.
So well done. I do remember that tournament. It was the Australian, was it?
Yeah, Joseph White got the win there.
He was very determined on that one. Very determined. Beat Luama Chalisi in the final. And Amanda Landers-Murphy won the women's. I think she beat Ella Lash in the final. I think so. Just trying to remember. I know she won the tournament. Yes, she did. And even in the middle of July, it was very hot in that in that venue. Some nice courts too at Howick. It occurs to me that Evan Williams is trying to win the points a shot or two too early.
Yeah, you can see Zach's game starting to come into play here. He's starting to be very hard to read, so it's now making Evan start to rush. At the start, he was able just to take his time a little bit. Zach wasn't maybe doing enough of the ball. And then after a few incidences, the momentum suddenly changed. It almost gave Zach that sort of second wind, even if you have to say that in the first game. But he started finding his range, and yeah, you can see it's hurt Evan now, and it'll be very interesting to see how much experience he can bring to get himself back in this game.
And just reminding people of the women's final, that was won in 4 games by Amanda Landers-Murphy over Lana Harrison.
Oh, Zach trying to go for a big neck on that one. Didn't quite pull off.
Yes, he just picked it up.
Yeah, Zach's not the fittest player, but he's got some very explosive feet. And they've caught a no-let there.
Well, I thought he could have actually played it. What about you, Sean? I thought he had enough space to play it.
Yeah, there's maybe a bit of an argument both ways. Maybe he could have played it. It was a little bit loose. It's a very tricky situation there. But again, this situation here with the arguing's probably not going to help him.
No, I don't think so.
And you can see Zach on the side probably enjoying it, just giving himself that extra rest.
Breather, just walking and taking his time.
And that's the last. Again, that's one thing you don't want to do with Zach. You don't want to give him too much time to recover, especially after a massive point like that. He had to work really hard. You want to.
He's using the ball quite nicely at the moment. A little bit of a grin. I mean, the thing is, people see Zach and go, oh, can he move? He can move.
Yeah, well, as we saw in that rally there, it's very explosive.
Yep.
He's not the fittest player, but he can get to some ridiculous balls. Yeah. It's just, can he carry it on? And that's what he struggles to do.
He surprises people with sudden bursts of speed and then the shots that he can create. And that, to me, is a weapon.
Yeah, and that's what makes him such a dangerous opponent. You've seen.
Gee, we're seeing a few of those from Evan Williams in this match.
And that's what makes him so dangerous against juniors, especially. When they go up against him, their first instance is that they can handle the fitness side of things. But the truth is, he plays at such a quick pace at times, it catches the juniors out. And suddenly you would actually see the junior is more tired than Zach. But that's not because he's not.
I think in all racket sports, he'd be one of those players that as a junior you come through and would just aggravate you. I can see that. And he'd love it.
That's unlucky for Zach. He played a really good point there. Just a bit of a loose drop at the end there, just getting Evan back in the point.
I think he was asking, was it a pickup from Evans there? Was that what he was questioning?
Yeah, and
I think he was picked up.
It was a good ball.
Yeah. Fair call there. He was trying to get out of the way as best he could.
And again, if you were Evan, you wouldn't want to be calling too many lets against Zach, because he wants to slow it down. You don't want to give him too many. On that occasion they got a stroke, but you don't want to get caught out asking for too many lets, because again, Zach will just slow it down. Better pace here from Evan, trying to get that pace going.
Yeah, you could just see he was in the right position for the ball, which he thought, and then it just zipped past him. Had to stretch a bit more and couldn't quite reach it for a full proper shot. So just pulling away now, Evan Williams in the second.
Yeah, he's just starting to get his rhythm back a little bit here. We've said that before. It looks like he gets his rhythm, then suddenly something happens, but very unlikely to happen in this game though.
The game ball. Yeah, well played. There was a better point there by Evan Williams, and takes the second game. So 1 game all, and this the men's final of the Rochelle Hobbs Henderson Open. And thank you very much there to sponsors Barfoot and Thompson from Henderson. We're back in for the third game at 1 each. We had change of shirt there for well, not for Evan Williams, he stayed the same.
Yeah, I don't blame the change of shirt. It is absolutely roasting on the court today. I think I needed 3 shirts for my game alone,
Yeah.
and it was only 4 games.
And so Miller taking the first, and that was after being down 3-7. And Evan Williams taking the second. Fairly close to start with. Just change of pace. Miller. Oh, that's good depth on that shot.
Oh, that's
a great little dab,
ridiculous.
wasn't it?
Just disappointing, that last one. But you see Evan doing a much better job now, just getting his focus, not making any silly mistakes. That's what cost him at the end of the first game. And even showed a little bit of that at the start of the second. But yeah, it was like 6-4 at one stage in the second, then 5 quick points, and now you can see the momentum's right back with Evan here. That's a nicely point there. Much better play there from Zaki. Just took a few balls a little bit earlier, maybe just slowed down a little bit. Don't know if it's because he's a little bit more tired again, but just started to slow down a little bit, and I think that's given Evan a little bit more time on the ball. See there, just took the ball a little bit early and made Evan rush that last shot there.
And for you, Sean Wigan, at the North Shore Club, when's the club really getting underway? That's one of your clubs.
Yeah.
When's it really get open and underway? Or is it already people playing?
So we still get a lot of people playing, which is good news. We've sort of got, again, following the rules that like most clubs are doing. You've got to have a vaccine pass to get in. You've got to wear a face mask on and off at all times unless you're actually playing, of course. You can't really wear a mask when you're playing.
That'd be tough.
Yeah, a lot of people will get tired pretty quickly.
Exactly.
But yeah, then and then after a shower as well, generally see them putting on a mask. But yeah, you don't see too much socialising at the moment.
Which is difficult for clubs who rely on that to actually make some extra money from the bar.
And again, you get.
Not sure really if there was anything too much to complain about there. Sean, looked fairly straightforward from behind here from this angle.
Yeah, so it's 5-5 now. So this, again, it'll be very interesting to see how Evan can refocus here.
Well, every time there is a stoppage, it appears that ZAC Miller comes back a little bit stronger with a bit more energy.
Yeah, well, again, it's just giving himself that extra bit of time. You can see here, he's just, he almost has bundles of energy now, but now he's...
And that was potentially, he did that shot for a winner. I think it was in the first game, the second game, but he tried it again there, not quite coming off.
Yeah. very unnatural shot. You wouldn't see too many squash players do that one.
Nice play, good control.
Yeah, Zach's got to just be a little bit careful when he does do that sort of shot. He doesn't want to put himself under too much pressure like he did in that last point there. Yeah, that was a...
What did he hit there? The ground or the...
Yeah, I think it hit all of them, I think.
Yeah.
Did well to get back in that point there because it looked like Zach was in a good position there.
Yeah. I think probably the shank of the way he hit it probably worked in his favour.
And again, just got a bit of a quick lead here. From 5-all, it's now 8-5. Oh, but you can't beat that. That's a good boast. Well executed there.
Right from the corner, the back corner, off the wall, fairly close, and then right into the front corner.
Oh, that's another good shot. Don't know why he has to have all these long rallies if he can just do that.
Yeah,
I think he wishes he can do that.
Low percentage shots, but when they come off, they're great.
And just like that, from being 3 points down, he's right back in the game. Oh, no. Oh.
There's some great court coverage.
Oh, you can't blame Zach there. A lot of running in that point. Probably a bit too much for him.
Yeah, exactly. It was great court coverage, though, to get into position. And just taking his time here.
Very smart play there, just slowing down. That's a famous master's trick right there. Just checking the shoes, checking they were right. Checking with the ref that it was the right call.
Oh, really stretching. Yeah. And good play from Evan Williams. Taking the pace off, dropping it real short, putting himself in a great position now.
Oh, and he just does that again. Every time he looks like he's absolutely gone, he just brings out that sort of shot.
And I mean, you can practice them all you want, and it's going to help you, but that's real tough to do it all the time.
But again, you can't get taught that.
No.
Unfortunately, he couldn't quite make that last ball there, so he...
And Evan Williams now 2-1 in this men's final. This is the men's final here at the Henderson Open. And Evan Williams fighting his way back. However, 3, possibly 4 Sean Wigan winning shots from the back of the court from ZAC Millar in that third game. Quite remarkable shots too.
Well, and as you can see if you see Zach's shirt at the moment, it's absolutely gone. So you can sort of understand.
Doesn't help, does it?
So you can sort of understand why he's going for those shots. He did a lot of work in that last game, so he's trying to do his very best to make it a bit easier for him. Oh, just like that. And you can see Evan just getting a bit frustrated with that.
Well, you would though, because there's nothing you can do about it as a player, and you just. You lose 3 or 4 points and you're thinking, well, this shouldn't be happening. Not much you can complain about there.
Yeah, just a bit loose there.
Yeah. Well, nicely played off his body from Evan Williams. in a good position now.
Well, a lot of balls down the middle there from Zach. Just
Not quite. He's running around in circles and almost.
I'm surprised he didn't try and give a bit of a swing there. Might have gone a bit overboard though.
Yeah.
Oh, and whoever's ping pong ball's at is definitely going to be in trouble there.
Yeah, it's the wrong ball. You can't play squash with that.
Hopefully that's not a game of beer pong going on.
Yeah.
It's a bit early for that.
Yeah. He,
Bit loose there, yeah.
yeah, Evan just sort of saying to himself, no, you know, be careful, you know where to not play it. It's almost, how far back can you go on a ball? Because it kept on coming across. And it was as if Zach had to run off the court almost to get out of the way of that.
Yeah, well, the first law is, of course, you got to give your opponent the opportunity to hit the ball. So if you're in the way, then that's where you get people calling lets.
Almost.
So then, if they show enough effort as Zach did in that one,
Yeah.
then that's where the let comes in. If you just
But
purposely,
what about for the hitter though? Just letting it come all the way across to almost get
Yeah.
their opponent in a bad position. There's
yeah, well,
nothing on them?
well, that's the fault of the other opponent for just maybe pushing it too wide on the ball.
Yeah.
Because that sometimes can be just from a really wide cross court, so it pops out a little bit more. So you can see, so if you saw on that one, Zach just hit it a little bit too wide, so then it just opened it up for Evan.
I wouldn't say it was a lazy shot. We just casually played it off his feet there. Evan
Yeah,
Williams.
go away with it on that one. Zach had a good opportunity to put a backhand drop away, didn't quite capitalize on it. Oh, there's that shot again. Must have nearly a whole game's worth in that.
It wasn't powerful, but it was well directed.
And that's one of my first rules in squash, make it good.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got a good, decent serve. Just a few times now, Evan hasn't hit that serve wide enough, given Zach the opportunity to put that ball away. So probably needs to focus a little bit more. You see there, that much wider serve, much more tighter.
Oh, died there. Well, that's one of the things in every racket sport is the serve is to start the point, but the serve should also be to win the point, or at least put yourself in a winning
Yeah.
position
Well, at least not give your opponent too many opportunities.
to win from it. I don't think nothing's going to go in his favour here for Zach Miller.
I think it's just milking a little bit extra rest time, I think.
Well, he's going to need a bit of rest time because he's down by a couple of points now and only 2 points away for a victory for Evan Williams.
Oh, that's a talented
nice.
shot there.
The thing is, Evan Williams wasn't very far away from the ball.
Yeah, he needs to focus a bit here, Evan. He knows Zach's going to do those sort of shots. So almost just has to let him go on that sort of occasion. He's up by 3 points. Okay, focus on the next ones.
Zach Miller having to do a lot of twists and turns so far. Not quite picked up.
Big point here.
Yeah, Zach Miller just working his way back in again. Tell you what, Evan would be furious if it goes to 5.
little bit loose there from ZAC. Oh, no, it can't get... Yeah, played a really good point there, and then just a bit of a loose cross court straight into Evans' racket. Put himself in a really bad position there.
A bit of a sweat patch or two. So it is a game ball.
Match ball as well. And that's it.
Well, big battle there from ZAC MILLAR, taking it to 4, winning the first game. And John Wigan, just a little summary from you about this particular match.